Welcome to our YouTube channel Quest Wilderness and More. If you like our contents and want to see our future videos, please subscribe to our channel and also press the notification or bell icon. Please do not forget to like and share our videos as well. This really helps motivate us to create better contents in future. This picture was taken from the Kabini region of the Nagarhole National Park. This remarkable individual was fondly called as Bhogeshwar by wildlife enthusiasts. So he was a male Asiatic wild elephant and he used to live in Nagarhole National Park. Sadly, just a few months ago, the elephant died due to old age, but his legacy still remains. Elephants are classified under a group of Mega-Herbivore that are called pachyderm. Hippopotamus, the rhino, and the elephants all fall under this animal kingdom called pachyderm. By definition, pachyderm is a very large mammal that is usually herbivorous in nature and has very thick skin. So coming back to the elephants, so elephants broadly are classified into three major subspecies: the African elephant, the African bush elephant, and the Asiatic elephant. Actually, Asiatic elephants can also be distinctly grouped into the Asiatic elephants that's found all across India and certain parts of Southeast Asia like Thailand and Myanmar, Burma, and places like that, and the elephants that are found in Borneo. The elephants found in Borneo are smallest among all elephant species. So Indian elephants or the Asiatic elephants broadly, I mean, let's call it the Asiatic elephants, which personally we have mostly encountered. And the basic difference between Asiatic elephants and African elephants. So African elephants have larger ears and their back is kind of concave, basically carved downwards, whereas uh, Asiatic elephants, they have smaller ear and their back is convex, or rather I would say it's their back is straight or arched upwards, right? So you will notice this if you watch the National Geographic Channel or Animals Planet the next time. So this is the basic difference between Asiatic elephants and the African elephants. Apart from that, um, among African elephants, both the male and the female have tusks. While in Asiatic elephants, not usually, it's always the males have tusks. The females do not have tusks. It's as a result of evolution, which we will explain later. Uh, apart from that, overall, if you look at African elephant and an Asiatic elephant, you will notice overall, stature-wise, the African elephants are kind of leaner and taller, in terms of stature, whereas the Asiatic elephants, they have mostly a roundish गोल मटोल टाइप का stature. तो यही mainly difference है एशियाटिक एलिफेंट और अफ्रीकन एलिफेंट्स में. Now coming to the importance of elephant. Elephants are a very important seed disperser. What I mean by seed disperser is that you can imagine elephants eat a lot of fruits from trees, many kinds of trees. So, so as they move across forests, they spread these seeds, and as a result of their dispersing of the seeds, it gives chance for new plants to germinate out of those seeds, right? So elephants and their dungs are very important. In fact, the dung of an elephant, you know, is so important that you can see a, a separate kind of mini ecosystem thriving just around the dung of an elephant. You will see insects like butterflies, dung beetle, they feed on the elephant dungs. There are many insects that lay their eggs and their larvae. They thrive in this dung, and as a result of these insects around elephant dung, there are always presence of insectivorous birds around elephant dungs. So you can see an entire food chain developing just around the dung of an elephant. And among all the organisms that feed and take advantage of elephant dung, the dung beetle and the mushrooms are most important. The dung beetle and the mushrooms also grow on elephant dungs, by the way. So these organisms help in recycling nutrients from back to the soil from elephant dung. So as a result, the soil receives important nourishment, and this makes the soil more fertile, and as a result it makes it more hospitable for plants to grow on. And as I told you earlier, elephants eat a lot of fruits, and their dungs contain also seeds from many kinds of fruits they eat. So they are important seed dispersers, and along with the help of these kind of organisms and the ecosystems developing around their dung, it it won't be wrong to call an elephant a farmer of the forest. There is another thing that elephant does. Elephant also uproots trees, especially male elephants. They and due to their large body, they smash a lot of trees while moving through thick foliage. So elephant also helps in reviving the forest by destroying old trees and allowing new vegetation to come up. So in this way, elephant, you can say, plays the role of that important individual that basically creates the forest. A forest, maintaining a forest without elephant is very difficult. So this is the basic role of elephants in the forest. In general, female elephants form herds, and they migrate from one patch of forest to other. This is this happens due to two reasons. One is safety in numbers, because the female elephants will certainly have calves, baby elephants with them, and in order to protect from predators, like especially the tigers, safety in numbers. So as a result, they form herds, and in elephant herds, a female experienced female known as the matriarch usually leads the herd, and that particular individual will retain memory passed on from generations of elephants of specific migration routes that they will follow in search of food and water. So the migration of elephant herds basically depends on three factors. One is safety numbers, second is the availability of water, and the third is availability of food, of course. Male elephants, also known as tuskers, are solitary on the other hand. So they have to rely on the patch of forest they dwell in all the seasons throughout their life. So they do not migrate like the female and their calves do. So as a result, when food sources dry out in their patch of the forest, they have to also rely on peculiar food sources like barks of trees. So they have to rely on barks of trees for nutrition. As a result, they use their tusks to scrap barks of trees and feed on them. So this is one of the explanation that just comes to my mind. It's not proven, but it just occurs to me that this could be the reason of the evolution of Asiatic elephants. Why the male has tusks but the females do not. I'm not sure of this. I do not, it's just like my way of thinking about this. Elephants in general are very peaceful animals if observed at a distance. Now I'm talking about wild elephants here, not domesticated elephants. So in the wild, there is a recommended distance that must be kept while observing elephants in the wild, in a national park or in a protected forest. So elephants are aggressive in three situations. One, if the herd is protecting a young newborn baby elephant. Okay, so basically they are very protective of their young. So that's the reason they are aggressive when tourists get too close. Tourists or any human being gets too close to the herd. So its safe distance must be kept, or else they may charge. Most of their the way they charge is they just mock charge, and they do not actually attack. However, attacks did happen, casualties did happen. So it's always recommended to keep a safe distance. Number two, these juvenile elephants. Juvenile elephants बड़े डरपोक किस्म के होते हैं. They are quite insecure, so they will see anything around as threat. Be it a tiger or a leopard or even we humans. Okay, they tend to charge more frequently than mature adults. Okay, that is the second situation, and the third situation is adult fully grown male tuskers. Okay, at particular times of the year when they are they are in musk, we call it musk. Okay, so basically beneath their eyes you will see some wet secretions. You'll clearly notice that, and it will have a peculiar kind of aromatic or sweetish smell that that are very peculiar. Okay, so that basically means that particular tusker is high on testosterone, and in these situations they are really aggressive animals, and this is something to watch out for. So under these three situations, elephants are usually aggressive in the wild. Okay, so elephants are threatened by humans more than humans are threatened by the elephants. This is the same story across the globe with all the threatened and endangered species of animals. Right. So the first thing that threatens the existence of this beautiful mega-herbivore is the ivory trade and the demand for ivory, which resulted in poaching across many years. Right. So currently poaching really is restricted, and we all know now ivory trade is mostly illegal across most places around the globe, across many countries. So poaching right now is not the major threat to elephants, but there is still one threat that remains even to this present day: the threat of human encroachment. So, as we know, as we have discussed, elephants are migratory animals mostly, apart from tuskers. You're right. Apart from tuskers among Asiatic elephants, mostly elephants are migratory, and they need to rely on certain migratory routes. What if humans have encroached and basically fragmented the forest and cut off these migration routes due to various human activities like agriculture and general human development. I have I have been observing elephant herds in forests of southern India, especially around Nagarhole National Park, Bandipur National Park, and also Madumalai National Park and Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. So I have seen between these protected forests, the corridors are not protected enough. As a result, human activities have really encroached into these semi-protected or unprotected places, and the elephant corridors are not well protected as well as the national parks are. There are tea plantations, coffee plantations, and many such commercial agricultural activities that have really cut these migratory routes of elephants and have fragmented the forest. As a result, elephants often have to pass through agricultural lands, tea plantations, coffee plantations, mostly in southern India. And I have heard of similar stories from northeastern India as well, where in places like Assam and West Bengal, where elephants have to cross tea plantations specifically and other agricultural lands. So as a result, there is human animal conflict, and this picture is of that of a direct consequence of this, the negative impact it has on elephants. This picture is of a juvenile elephant that's separated from its herd. You can clearly see it is starving, right? So it is left to fend for itself, and juvenile like this, it's very difficult for it to survive without a herd. So this is the negative impact. Okay, elephant individual members get separated from the herd and they starve to death, right? So it's very important to secure and protect the corridor for us, and the elephant corridors need to be as protected as the national parks and other protected areas of the forest. They need to be heavily protected as well. So in South India, I have seen things have taken a positive turn in recent years, and a lot of elephant corridors have been secured very well. I just hope this happens, throughout India and throughout other countries as well. And elephants. If you like contents like this, please like our video, share with your friends who may like contents like these, and please subscribe to our channel to get more regular updates on whatever we happen to document wherever we go. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you very much.